Tashdil everyone, I am Sakina Butt and welcome to Tibet This Week, a weekly feature in English that tells you about this week's news on Tibet, His Holiness the Dalai Lama and the Central Tibetan Administration. Let's look at the headlines first. His Holiness the Dalai Lama expresses grave concern at deterioration of Tibet's fragile environment. His Holiness the Dalai Lama speaks on Sino-Tibet dialogue. On his maiden Manipur visit, His Holiness the Dalai Lama hails dialogue as solution to human problems. CTA President congratulates Jacinda Ardern, Prime Minister-elect of New Zealand, and Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe on national election win. Larung Ghar before and after demolition. Satellite images reveal the scale of destruction. Tibetan Children's Village School celebrates its 57th founding anniversary. At the recently concluded 550 Forum, His Holiness the Dalai Lama voiced on the issues concerning the deforestation of Tibet's pristine forests and the damming of Tibet's rivers, which could have a disastrous effect on downstream countries. His Holiness said that a lot of people from India and other riparian countries depend on the river that flow from Tibet and stated that the melting of glaciers in Tibet as a result of global warming is beyond our control, but the abnormal climate change brought about by global warming are caused due to lack of knowledge and negligence about the national significance of ecology. In recent years, China has been exploiting the natural resources of Tibet, and the powerless Tibetans are forced to watch as the economic benefits of Tibet flow out of the country. His Holiness responded to a question asked by one of the participants of the forum regarding the Sino-Tibet dialogue. His Holiness said that there will definitely be a mutual beneficial solution between Chinese and Tibetans, but also said that the Chinese should know that their present policy will never solve the Tibet issue. The dialogue between Tibetans and Chinese is only possible in the presence of a platform that demands mutual respect with common interests in mind between the two. On Wednesday last week, His Holiness the Dalai Lama addressed a packed audience at Impal City Convention Center to speak at a global conference on peace and harmony organized by the Manipur state government. His Holiness spoke on discussions such as finding inner peace by developing compassion, and people should not be violent in the name of religion. He said that misusing our intelligence will lead to negative emotions, and instead of solving problems by force, we need to engage in dialogue. His Holiness urged modern Indians to pay attention to the ancient knowledge rather than existing education system which focuses on material goals. When asked about the 15th Dalai Lama, His Holiness replied saying that when he reaches the age between 85 and 90, he will discuss the future succession with the Tibet's other spiritual leaders. Speaker Yumnant Khemchand welcomed him on behalf of the entire state of Manipur and invited him to address the gathering. On Thursday last week, His Holiness the Dalai Lama said in a video statement released at a public memorial service held in celebration of the life of Liu Xiaobo at Washington National Cathedral that people who admire the late Nobel laureate Liu Xiaobo should carry forward his principle and vision, and expressed his warm approval towards Liu Xiaobo's firm stand on moral principle and democracy. The prayer service saw an impressive gathering of politicians, State Department officials, Nobel laureates, Norwegian Nobel Committee Chair Berit Reiss-Andersen, and former United Nations Special Rapporteur on Torture Juan Mendes. An event of celebrating and honoring Liu Xiaobo also resounded with renewed calls for release of Liu Xia, Liu Xiaobo's widow, who has been forcibly disappeared since Liu's death. Liu was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize on 2010. On Friday last week, the President of the Central Tibetan Administration, Dr. Lobsang Singye, congratulated Jacinda Ardern for being elected as the new Prime Minister of New Zealand. He expressed his hope that New Zealand under her new leadership would continue to render its voice in support of human rights and the resolution of the Tibet issue through the middle way approach. On Monday this week, Dr. Singye congratulated Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe and his party on their victory in the national election. Dr. Singye expressed his gratitude to Japan for their support for Tibet and for always being a gracious host to His Holiness the Dalai Lama and other Tibetan dignitaries, including the President himself, during their visits to Japan. Shinzo Abe's Liberal Democratic Party secured 312 seats, retaining the two-thirds majority in the lower house of the parliament. He is the third longest-serving Prime Minister on post-war Japan. Rights group Free Tibet and Tibet Watch released a joint report on October 19, which captures the scale of destruction caused to Larunghar, the Buddhist academy. The thematic report, Destroying Heaven, China's Campaign of Destruction at Larunghar, displays satellite images obtained with the assistance of US-based satellite specialist Apollo Mapping. Last year in June, the Chinese authorities ordered Larunghar to slice its population, and the demolitions were subsequently carried out in the following month. Residents were not consulted about the demolition plan, nor were they given any compensation. The destruction led to the suicide of nuns and stripping the Tibetans of their fundamental rights to exercise their religion and culture. The local Tibetan residents retort that the demolition is to cater to the convenience of tourists. Earlier this year, in February, a 5-member delegation from Department of Information and International Relations of the Central Tibetan Administration carried out a high-level advocacy campaign at the United Nations ahead of the 34th UN Human Rights Council session. The week-long campaign pressed on 4 pertinent human rights issues in Tibet, including the wide-scale destruction of Larunghar and Yachenghar. A couple of weeks later, 6 UN special rapporteurs made a public joint communication sent to the Chinese government that expressed the mandate holders' concerns over Larunghar and Yachenghar and called on China to take prudent measures. December 2016 saw the European Parliament passing an urgency resolution on Larunghar. Of the 40 clauses, 31 addressed the issue of Tibet and Larunghar in the resolution. On Monday this week, the Upper Tibetan Children's Village School began its 3-day celebration to mark its 57th founding anniversary with secular ethics as a central theme for the year. CTA President Dr. Singye, who was the chief guest of the opening ceremony, applauded the school for over 50 years of service in the field of Tibetan education and also highlighted the importance of the inclusion of secular ethics in schools as emphasized by His Holiness the Dalai Lama. TCV, a non-profit charitable organization founded in 1960, is the largest residential school of the exiled Tibetan community. So much for this week. See you next time. Have a great weekend.